If your brand new pickup truck starts feeling tired right after 100,000 miles, it's not an accident. It's not bad luck either. And it might not even be your driving, because something about modern trucks has quietly changed, and most owners don't notice it until it's too late. You're told you're buying a machine built for strength, for towing, for decades of work. But somewhere along the way, that promise started to fade. And the uncomfortable question is this: what if today's pickup trucks are not really built to last, but built to be replaced? Now, before that sounds extreme, look at what owners are actually experiencing. Trucks that used to easily cross 300,000 miles with basic maintenance are now facing expensive breakdowns far earlier. Not always dramatic failures, but a slow accumulation of issues. Transmission hesitation, sensor errors, emission system warnings, electrical glitches that don't fully go away. And the worst part? The truck still runs, just not cheaply. You take it to a shop, and the answer is never simple anymore. It's not, fix this part for $200. It's, we need to scan the system. This module needs replacing, or the software isn't communicating correctly. Suddenly, a working truck becomes a financial decision every few months, and that's where the reality starts to shift. You're not just maintaining a pickup truck anymore. You're maintaining a rolling computer, and computers don't age like old mechanical engines used to. Here's the hidden change most people never think about. Modern trucks are no longer designed as purely mechanical machines. They are built around interconnected electronic systems, dozens of control modules, sensors everywhere, emission systems tied to software, and performance limits governed by programming. That means when one thing starts to degrade, it doesn't just break, it affects the entire system. And that's where the long-term durability problem begins. Because in older trucks, wear and tear was predictable. You could hear it, feel it, fix it. But in newer trucks, degradation is silent. A sensor becomes slightly inaccurate. A software update changes engine behavior. The transmission adapts in a way that hides early warning signs until failure is expensive. Now here's where things get more controversial. Some industry analysts argue that this complexity naturally shortens the practical lifespan of modern trucks, not because engineers want them to fail, but because the cost of keeping them perfect becomes too high after a certain point. Think about it. If repairing a 12-year-old truck costs more than half the price of a newer model with better fuel economy, better safety systems, and warranty coverage, most people won't repair it. They'll replace it. And that economic pressure quietly creates a pattern, a soft limit, not written anywhere, not officially stated, but felt by owners around the world. Some call it planned obsolescence. Others call it progress. But either way, the result feels the same when you're the one paying the repair bill. Now let's talk about something even more frustrating: emissions and compliance systems. Modern diesel and gasoline trucks are packed with systems designed to meet strict environmental rules. These systems are important, but they also add layers of complexity that didn't exist before. And when these systems age, they often become one of the most expensive parts of the entire truck to maintain. So what happens at around that 100,000-mile mark? Not every truck fails. Not every owner suffers. But many start noticing a pattern. Repairs become more frequent, parts become more expensive, and simple fixes disappear. And this is where the villain of the story isn't a single company. It's the entire ecosystem. Manufacturers are pushed to innovate faster. Technology companies push more software integration. Governments push stricter regulations. And consumers demand more features, more power, more efficiency, more comfort. All of that gets packed into one vehicle, and the truck becomes heavier, not physically, but mechanically and electronically. Now imagine trying to design something that does everything: tow heavy loads, survive off-road abuse, meet emission standards, run advanced infotainment systems. and update itself like a smartphone. Something has to give. And often, it's long-term simplicity. This is why older mechanics often say something unsettling. New trucks are amazing, until they aren't. Because when they cross a certain age threshold, the repair philosophy changes. You're no longer restoring a simple machine. You're troubleshooting a network of systems that all depend on each other. And this leads to the breaking point moment most owners experience. It's not a sudden explosion. It's a realization, a repair estimate that doesn't make sense anymore. A second major issue, right after fixing the first one, a feeling that the truck is slowly becoming a financial burden instead of a reliable tool. And that's when people start asking the real question. Is it even worth keeping it? Now here's the strategy smart long-term owners quietly use, and we can call it the 100K longevity loophole. It's not about avoiding maintenance. It's about changing how you approach maintenance before the expensive phase begins. Step 1. Treat the 60,000 to 90,000 mile range as a prevention zone, not a reaction zone. This is where small issues can still be controlled before they cascade. Step 2. Focus on simplifying the truck's workload. Not every feature needs to be used constantly. Over-reliance on complex systems increases long-term stress. Step 3. Build a relationship with a technician who understands your specific model deeply. Not just general repairs. Knowledge becomes more valuable than parts at this stage. And step 4. Make a financial decision before breakdown pressure forces one on you. Smart owners don't wait for failure. They plan the exit point in advance. Because the truth is, once a modern truck passes that invisible threshold, you stop owning just a vehicle and start managing a system that demands continuous investment. And maybe that's the real shift nobody talks about. The question is no longer, how long will this truck last? It's becoming, how long can you afford to keep it running the way it was designed to run? And if this is happening across the entire truck industry, then the next question is even more uncomfortable. What happens to the next generation of pickup trucks when 100,000 miles is no longer the milestone but the warning sign